Stephen Steele is an author who takes his readers into the past and into the future by connecting them with the present. While we were talking, the subject of reincarnation came up. So let's start there. First of all, what's your definition of reincarnation?
This isn't a religious explanation, but we are eternal souls.
Okay.
And we're here to do we're here to do two things and two things only: learn and have fun. And as a process, it's a learning process that takes place over multiple lifetimes, virtually endless lifetimes. And as such, we come back in to learn the things we didn't learn the last time, or perhaps to put into effect what we did learn last time and do some good with it. So basically, we come again, and that's it.
You said the same characters appear in each one of your lives. How do you know that? How do you know that they're the same characters? And why do you think they're reappearing? Is it one thing you have to change, or is it everything? Or if you with the same characters, you're going to learn the same thing all over again.
First of all, to get in touch with all this stuff, you can't do it alone. You need help. You need a guide. You need a psychic, intuitive, honest, for real person who can help you through all this, which I had for over 20 years. And so gradually, slowly, things that don't make sense in this lifetime make sense if you connect them to past lifetimes. And these people from past lifetimes show back up in this lifetime so that you can take your power back from them, so that you can learn what you didn't learn before, so that they don't get to use and abuse and destroy you like they did in your past lifetimes.
What do you think happens to the soul? You think it just goes into another body and it brings all its misery with it? Or does it get a second chance to be somebody different and somebody that they're happy with?
Well, it's an impossible question to answer specifically, because
Yeah.
We know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. We know that we have this energy that we borrow, and at some point you got to give it back. In another book that I've written, and I've dramatized all of these events. So it's best explained, I think, in what we call the drama triangle. So if you mentally draw a diamond with the base top up and the point at the bottom, okay? And in the upper left-hand corner, you put bad guy. And over here, you put rescuer. And down here, you put victim. And most people spend their time in the squirrel cage, running around in this dysfunction. Okay, that's the drama triangle. And the bad guy wants to shame, blame. He's a bully, put down, and abuse. The rescuer wants to fix everything for everybody, but that's a control trip. And the victim is, oh, poor me, I'm a helpless, hopeless victim. Then they let the rescuer fix it for me, and then the bad guy comes in. But the way out of that triangle, and easier said than done, is the bad guy. You got to be willing to look like the bad guy, which means you're standing on my foot. You're not a bad, wrong, and a horrible person for standing on my foot, but get the hell off my foot. And somebody, and once you assert yourself, this doesn't work for me, they'll either shift or they'll go away. And either way, you were true to yourself. And unless you're true to yourself, you can't have anything. Now, as like they used to say in est, understanding is the booby prize. That's easier said than done. And it really takes a lot of support and coaching to be able to say to that lifetime abuser, if that makes any sense, that drama triangle really explains the dysfunction most people are in, and the way out of it is simply to say, that does not work for me. And as you say, you have to be perfectly willing to walk away.
What kind of training have you had or experienced, to write the kind of books that you do, and even express what you're expressing now?
I had destroyed a fortune. I had lost everything. I had it all. A mansion on 12 acres, a wonderful woman, lost everything, and went to live in the land of Nod, east of Eden, which in my case was living on a boat in Newport Beach, California, selling boats. That time I met a redheaded PhD psychologist who herself had a wonderful psychologist. And through a interesting story, I just felt compelled to see this woman. And she was on an island in Long Beach Harbors where she had her practice. And she was just this magical, mysterious, intuitive woman who had guides. And over a period of over 20 years, she taught me all those things. But believe me, I mean, they're recovering alcoholics. I'm a recovering passive aggressive. Passive aggressives don't know they're full of it. They don't know they're lying to themselves. And getting through the process of telling yourself the truth is a long road, and it's a razor's edge, because that's how you're programmed. And go ahead.
Well, when you started telling the truth and only nothing but the truth, and stopped lying to yourself, as you just said, what did that feel like?
It's freeing. You go. I mean, my wife went through the same thing because I brought her down. I had destroyed our fortune, alienated. I brought her down to participate in this as well, and she went through the whole 20-odd year journey with me. And she said, "Oh my God, I've been feeling these things, and somebody just validated them."
So let me ask you one last question. What's in the future for Stephen Steele?
Well, I've written a book that's extensively about everything we've been talking about. It's called A Tale of Forever: the many lives of Henry and Cece. And we detail in that all of these stories I've been telling, and many, many more, and the psychology and the spirituality.
His latest book is part of a series. The series is called The Trouble with Miracles.
There's 3 books in the set. The series is called The Trouble with Miracles, which is also the title of the last book. The first book is The Canistar Factor. The second one is The Organ Grinder Factor. The third one is The Trouble with Miracles.
If somebody wanted to get your miracle series, where can they find it?
My Trouble with Miracles series is available wherever books are sold. And you can certainly get it from Barnes & Noble, but I like to guide people towards Amazon.
I want to thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time and a little bit of insight into your philosophy.
It's a pleasure being here, Stewart. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.